All right, guys, it is time. This is my top 5 movies of 2018. I love this time of year, and this right here isn't a list of the best, most well-made movies of 2018. These are my 5 favorite for a variety of reasons, but one constant is that all 5 of them moved me in different ways, of course, but they all really meant something to me this year, and I'm really excited to be able to look back on this list here as just a snapshot of my movie-loving existence in 2018. My number 5 movie is Black Panther. I have watched this one quite a few times this year, and it's incredible how certain beats are still just as powerful as the very first time I saw them play out, if not more so in some cases. It's one big, beautiful, high-energy celebration of culture and doing the right thing, and also fighting for what you believe in, to the point that Killmonger isn't just a villain, but rather a fully realized person with motivations you can understand. The movie gave us a whole bunch of new MCU standouts too, in Shuri, Nakia, Okoye, and M'Baku. And then there's Chadwick Boseman, who really proves to be the rock of this movie. The standout line for me here is, "You're a good man with a good heart, and it's hard for a good man to be king." Yes, Black Panther is a big screen thrill, but it's also a really moving journey of T'Challa figuring out how to be both of those things. Next up now, at number 4, I've got Love, Simon. This movie, to me, is one of the best examples of embracing familiar genre cornerstones and then adding something new to them. It's a movie that I really do believe can make a difference for many people out there. Whether you can relate specifically to what Simon is going through or not, what he says at the very beginning of the movie could hold true regardless. He's just like you, but he's got one huge-ass secret, and who doesn't have some sort of truth about themselves that they're afraid to fully embrace and share with those around them? Revealing Simon's particular predicament the moment the movie begins, and then walking him through what feels like average teen high school scenarios. It makes what he's going through so widely accessible, and it's all done with such heart and emotion and warmth. I'm really just so thankful that we have a movie like this one to continue to up representation, acceptance, and understanding, both within the film industry and also well beyond it too. My number 3 is going to the movie 8th Grade. It is still so wildly impressive to me that Bo Burnham's first feature managed to be such a highlight of 2018. Between Elsie Fisher's performance and just the honesty and respect with which he handles Kayla's journey, I think that's why this movie can strike a chord with so many out there. Even though the story is specifically Kayla's, there's a vibe and maybe even a connectivity between viewer and movie that packs the power to transport you right back to middle school awkward self-consciousness, and in the process, you really feel for her. I did have a lot of great coming-of-age movies in my life as a kid, but this is one in particular that I really think would have meant a lot to me back then, and maybe even have made a difference for me growing up too. Now we are moving on to that number 2 spot, and that position is going to Bohemian Rhapsody. I do tend to get pretty quiet and pensive right after seeing a movie. I do like to think about it before I start talking about it, but in the case of Bohemian Rhapsody, it took me to another level in that respect. I walked out just emotionally overwhelmed. Yeah, the movie does lean on some familiar tools when it comes to this rise of fame storytelling, but it worked for me. And it worked for me as a story of a man who never stopped pushing to make the music he believed in, who came to embrace certain qualities and characteristics about himself that made him different, and through that journey, he wound up changing lives. Life will always be filled with bumps in the road and hardships, but there are certain things we can turn to bring us together and lift our spirits, and in the case of this particular movie, that thing is music, and getting the opportunity to witness someone fighting to create something that changed lives for the better, and to be able to really feel it, truly rocked me to the core. And now, that brings us to my number 1 movie of 2018. It's The Favorite. I can't say this movie left me with the same pep in my step as something like Bohemian Rhapsody, but boy, does it dig its claws in. We've got 3 exceptional lead performances here from Olivia Colman, Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, and watching this passionate, nasty, and sometimes outlandish chess game they've got going on here is just utterly mesmerizing. Admittedly, I don't usually fall head over heels for period piece visuals, but everything here, from the costumes to the production design, and then the way Yorgos Lanthimos captures it all, is just intoxicating, and it also amplifies the character journeys really beautifully. It's a mind-bending experience to have these three characters and jump around from rooting for, rooting against, and also really feeling for each one of them, but in different ways at different times as the movie progresses. It is highly engrossing and challenges you to assess the value of stooping to cruelty and manipulation to get what you want. It's a movie with a real fascinating mean streak to it that, admittedly, I just cannot get enough of. So there it is, guys. That is my top 5 movies of 2018. Really is one of my favorite times of year, where we get to celebrate just this wealth of big screen achievements we've seen, and we get to walk away with it with a list that just offers this really nice look back at where you were and what you were into at that point in time. And hey, this is my list here. I am eager to see your list too, though, so do drop your top 5s in the comment section below. A huge thank you to you guys for watching this video. Here's to all the movies that made a big impression in 2018.